and it is certainly not a coincidence. This message has found its way to you through the noise of the internet because your energy called for it. There is a specific reason you are here today. The angels have guided you to this very screen because the timeline of your life is about to shift in a way you never expected. There is a story unfolding behind the scenes, a story that involves you and a very significant person, and if you leave now, you might miss the sign you have been praying for. So, take a deep breath, center yourself, and stay with this message until the very end, because the revelation waiting for you is going to validate everything you have been feeling in your gut. My beloved child, there is a silence around you right now that feels heavy, almost electric, like the air right before a summer thunderstorm. That is because the universe has been holding its breath for this exact moment. Tonight, the energy is shifting in your favor. Something truly huge is waiting for you. It is something that has been growing in the shadows, behind closed doors, and behind the guarded eyes of someone you know. There are thoughts being formed right now that this person never dared to speak out loud, but they are screaming in their mind. We are talking about a person you crossed paths with, someone who felt your presence much deeper than you ever realized at the time. Right now, as you read this, they are standing on the edge of a massive decision. This isn't just a small choice about where to go for dinner. This is a decision that could shift your entire destiny and theirs. They haven't been sleeping properly. If you have been waking up in the middle of the night for no reason, it is because they are awake thinking of you. They haven't smiled the same way. They haven't taken a single day lightly because your name, your energy, and the impact you made on their life have become impossible for them to ignore. They are reaching a breaking point. They are at the moment where they must choose. They have to decide whether to finally step toward you and confess what is weighing so heavy on their heart, or to walk away forever and live with the regret. They know they cannot stay in the middle anymore. You need to listen carefully to this part. The decision they are about to make is not just emotional. It is life-changing. It is a pivot point. Something about you has shaken this person to their core in ways even they cannot logically understand. They have been replaying old conversations you had, looking at old photos, and replaying even the smallest gestures you made. They are trying to decode why the universe keeps pushing your name back into their mind every time they try to focus on something else. They have really tried to distract themselves. They buried themselves in work, in responsibilities, and tried to pretend they don't care. They tried to act cool and detached. But it isn't working. The facade is crumbling. The truth is almost unbelievable. There was someone in their life, someone who once held a lot of influence over them, who told them to forget you. Someone close to them tried to convince them that you were a risk, or that it wouldn't work out. But here is the amazing thing. The more they try to step away from you, the stronger the magnetic pull becomes. It is like a rubber band. The further they stretch it, the harder it is going to snap back. They are afraid. They are scared of choosing you and losing their comfort zone. But they are even more afraid of not choosing you and losing their fate. This is why this decision is not small. It is the kind of choice that changes timelines and alters the future. And now, hear this clearly. Tonight, this person has finally stopped running from their own truth. They are looking at their life, looking at the house they live in, the job they do, the people around them, and they are realizing that none of it feels complete. It feels like a puzzle with the most important piece missing. They are realizing that they cannot understand their own journey without understanding what your presence truly means in it. They know things can't stay the same anymore. The status quo is broken. They have reached the point where the silence between you is heavier than a confession would be. The distance is more painful than the risk of honesty. They are realizing that losing you completely would cost them more than any fear could justify. They are standing in a private battlefield in their mind. It is hard on one side, with pressure from society or family on the other. But for the first time in a long time, their heart is winning the battle. That is why the universe pushed you to find this message right now. Because before the clock resets and a new day begins, a revelation is going to surface. A truth they have buried for way too long is going to break open like a dam. Their next step, their next words, their next move will alter everything you thought you knew about this connection. You, my beloved child, are closer to the truth than ever before. Something huge is waiting for you. Tonight, the universe is whispering a truth you were never meant to overlook. This person who is making a big decision about you has reached the point where their silence is becoming unbearable. To them physically, their heart is loud, thumping in their chest. Their mind is restless. Their spirit is unsettled. They can't go a single hour without your name crossing their thoughts, without imagining the life they could have chosen if fear didn't hold them hostage. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is tied to the moment they finally stop running from what they feel. They have started questioning their own patterns. They are asking themselves, why do I pull away when things get real? Why do I return to thoughts of them? Why do I stay conflicted even when the world around me seems stable? And now they are realizing the truth. Nothing about their life feels aligned or right unless you are somewhere in it. But here is where everything becomes intense and very real. This person recently had a moment so sharp, so piercing, that it forced them to confront emotions they hid for too long. They saw something, maybe a car that looked like yours, a song on the radio that you used to love, or a specific date on the calendar that made their chest tighten instantly. A memory of you resurfaced with a force they weren't ready for. A moment you shared, maybe something small like a laugh over coffee or a look across a room, hit them like a revelation. They realized that the connection wasn't imagined. It wasn't just in their head. It wasn't temporary. It wasn't something they could outgrow like a childhood phase. It was real, hauntingly real. And now they are questioning why they ever stepped back. Why they allowed confusion, other people's opinions, pressure at work, or their own insecurity to take control. They are starting to see that losing you isn't an option they could live with. Not anymore. And here is the part destiny wants you to hear. This person has begun preparing something. They are crafting a message in their head. A confession. A decision that isn't just emotional, it is transformative.